inner peace, better health, where stillness meets action and every step can be sacred. I am your host Shreya, and today's guest, Bhupinder Sandhu, has walked over 1,000 miles across the UK, not for fitness, but for awareness. As a corporate mindfulness coach and mental health advocate, his journey proves that even in a fast paced world, peace is possible, one mindful step at a time. So, welcome, Bhupinder. I'm honored to have you on my show.
Thank you. Thank you, Shreya, for having me on the show and giving me the opportunity to talk about this very important topic about mental health.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes. Thank you for your kind words. And Bhupinder, walking has become your tool for transformation. So, what inspired you to start walking with purpose for mental health awareness?
Few years back, I came across a personal challenge in the family and then related to mental health. And then it made me think because when you're giving lectures and as a mindfulness coach, you go to these five-star offices in London, across UK, and give lectures on mindfulness, mental health. It's very easy to talk about things, but a real test as a mindfulness coach comes in when you deal with this situation in your personal life. So that one incident in my life made me think that I need to come out of these four walls and take this message out to masses. And how can I do that? That was the next question I asked myself because mental health is a very big challenge today.
Yeah.
So, to reflect that challenge, I thought the challenge I do should be a big one. So, I thought, why not walk from London to Scotland? So, that was the first walking challenge I did in December, that too in December. So, that's what first walk came into existence. And then I walked from London to Scotland, about 711 kilometers in December. And that was the first walk. And then I walked from London to Cardiff, London to Brighton, and then did 1 million steps in May to raise mental health awareness.
Yes, that's wonderful. And was there a moment during your journey that reshaped your understanding of mindfulness?
Every step, I think, when you go out of your comfort zone, and if you are aware, every step change your inner space. And first walk was 20 days. And in those 20 days, I had enough time when you're walking out by yourself in middle of nowhere. You get all the time, all those thoughts that have been hidden inside you for a long, long time come to the surface. And then it was my time to see those thoughts and resolve them. As a mindfulness coach, it gave me much more clarity within my inner space with those unwanted thoughts, the energy that was just stored in me.
Yes, yes. And I think it's a powerful how movement can reveal truths, stillness sometimes hide. And that's so true. And also you have supported over 5,000 individuals during the pandemic. So how did that chapter of global crisis shape your work and message?
During COVID, what happened was everything was shut down all of a sudden.
Yes.
And I had so much time but for myself. And then people started coming to me through social media, through personal links and WhatsApp. And then I was talking one to one. And after a few days and few weeks, I came to realization that it's not sustainable and it's not good for me as well because I was spending so many hours, but output was not that effective. So then I started doing the group sessions, and these group sessions made a bigger impact. I had a bigger audience, more people came in because during COVID, we all had the same issues: isolation, uncertainty, and fear, and the stress level were rising. So the common problems were same for 90% of the people. So that's why, and that's how I was able to deal with or help like more than 5,000 people in that short span of time. So
Yeah.
we can do it again and again repeatedly. So that was the thanks to technology. One thing that I'm very thankful that it helps us to get better when used correctly.
Yes, yes. And I think when the world stood still, you kept walking for all of us. And thank you for that. And what did it teach you about resilience in a time of collective trauma?
You have to be resilient. That's the only option I think we have. Either you can go to into that negative spiral of life and create a negative energy within yourself and for the people around you. Like I give you one interesting thing that we did in our home
Yeah.
during COVID. Nobody knew what was happening, right? There was so much uncertainty. Every time for things, and people are giving their own opinions about things. It's all negative, right? So we stopped. Okay, fine. If you need to talk about anything other than COVID and you're going to give us symptoms, resolutions, I'm not there to listen to that because nobody knows.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to the news because it's all the negative stuff you hear. It impacts your mental health and physical health. And the people you talk to, if they're talking negative all the time, that affects your mental space as well. So these are the two things I did during the COVID. And resilience, I think, is inbuilt in humans. It's like how much we use it, that's different. Different people use it to different level. It's just like oxygen, like air.
Yeah.
It's if we have 20 people in the room, it's available, equally available to everybody. But it's up to the person how deeply he wants to breathe in. It's just
True.
like this.
So true, so true that it's up to us that how we take the positivity and how we take the negativity which we want to choose to take. This is so true. And you talk about humanizing mental health. So what does that mean in a world still clinging to stigma and silence?
You know, what is happening today is technology is advancing at the speed of light, I would say. But human consciousness is growing at a very slow pace. Let's say technology is on the bullet train, it's 1,000 kilometers an hour, and we are still on the push bike, paddling. The human consciousness is paddling slowly. So this vast gap between technical development and human consciousness is not developing at that pace. So that big gap is the reason for all these mental health problems, I think, because it brings in the pressure to keep up with the technology. We're trying to keep up with the technology, and in that race of keeping up with the technology and all the advancements in the society, in the world, we are putting so much pressure. Like, we are built different. Some people can walk fast, some people can run fast, some people can swim fast, right?
Hmm.
Everybody has got their abilities, but we all are just running the same race. If you have got a, say, rickshaw or something, you can't compete with the car. You need to learn and understand your own abilities. And we are just lacking that. We are in just one race that society has built around us that we have to say, let's like talk about Indian culture.
Hmm.
You need to good marks in school. You need to get to a good uni. You need to do either BA now, whatever the trend is these days. And then you need to be married by that. You need to have a house by that. You need to have kids by that age. So we are running towards certain goals which we never decided. We never got the chance
Yes.
to decide those things that were decided by the parents, how parents decided them, because the whole society wants that. or everybody's talking about that because their kids did it, or that's the only thing they knew about it. We didn't have a broad spectrum. We never let, we were never let to develop as human beings. We were just told to do things. And I think that is also a bigger cause for mental health problems.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think it's more than just a policy. It's about the presence, the compassion, the culture, and also you like how can leaders, especially in the corporate world today, begin to embody the shift?
First thing is they need to understand the importance of mental health, massive change. They need to understand that they lose so much money because of people taking sick, leaving job just because of stress, anxiety, and burnout. And these are all addressable issues. They can be resolved. We don't need much infrastructure for that. We just need a compassionate leader who's willing to take small steps to make this massive shift in mental health space. So leaders need to be like very open about it. First thing is they need to be very open. They should be, okay, yeah, this is a problem. Like in UK alone, companies are losing about 300 billion pounds every year just because of stress related uh, sickness. Imagine 300 billion, just that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a budget of some small countries, an annual budget of some small countries. So we're losing so much. And globally, if we look at that, if we don't look into it now and in the coming generations, we will lose about 1 trillion every year if we don't resolve these mental health issues in the coming generations.
Yes.
So it's a big number.
True. I really agree. And I think they need to change the narrow mindset that we are the leaders, what we are making, like the whatever the policies and strategies we are making, they sometimes need to listen to the employees also and to the customers also. And also let's talk about like different cities and like you long walks covered cities with very different energies. So, how
Yep.
did your surroundings like London, Edinburgh shape the emotional impact of your own mission?
When you, so let me put it in a very simple way and relatable way. When I walked in London, when I walked through London for first 2 days of a walk, you see people are running, they are rushed, they are stressed, no smiles, nothing. So you move bit further out of London, you start seeing people walking, stress level. They're not smiling that much, but still they are okay. They're not running, they're not in a race, but they're in a bit of rush, but bit less than the Londoners, right? And if you go past, like after 3 or 4 days, you get into the country where we just don't see the London aspect of life. You see people, they are so relaxed, they're walking, they're smiling, they talk to you. When I walked through London, nobody's there to talk. You can't have a conversation. But you pass London, people are more friendly, they have more time. It's not they have more time, they're not in a rush. And you can have meaningful conversation around any subject. I spoke to people about cricket, I spoke to people about football, I spoke to people about politics, I spoke to people about mental health. You start a conversation at some point and then you just navigate and then you bring the attention towards mental health and everybody understands that there is a need to address this issue at a bigger scale. And if you keep going further down, it's not about just in UK, everywhere. If we look at India, if you go to Delhi, it's a totally different culture. You go to Bangalore, it's a similar culture, but in a different way. But if you go to, say, my hometown, Firozpur, is just a small town in Punjab, and the culture is totally different. And if you go to my village, you will see so many people are so relaxed and everything. So there is a difference of metropolitan cities, small towns, and the villages, and you will see the same thing across the whole world. It's not
Mhm.
specific to London or any other big cities, just around the whole world.
Yeah, yes. And I think sometimes the geography holds just as much emotional weight as the journey itself. And though you describe that each town says its own story in a way.
Yep.
And did you notice how each community of each town or village responded to the topic of mental health?
Y- Yes, like when you go further down into small villages, when I walk through small villages, and people say, "What is this mental health?" I was shocked. Like they don't even people are not even aware of some people are not even aware about mental health. So that was shocking in 21st century. You just like if you ask somebody what is your take on mental health, and they're just like, what? So that make me think that we just starting to address this issue. We haven't reached the summit yet, and it's long way.
So, do you think that, like in the towns, especially, like you said, that when you go more than the towns in the countryside or in the village side, you see that people are less aware about the mental health issue? Is it because they live in a lower pressure than the city or the town people, or is it because of something else, do you think?
It's combination of both, because when you are living in a less stressed environment, or you let's put it in a positive way, if your life is calm, peaceful, and the incidents are less, then you are less aware of it. So it's just like certain places, there's a culture of one thing, and the other place is not aware of it. And when you are in a big city where everybody's talking about it, you are more aware of it, more people are going through the problem, then you become aware of it. It's just like earlier, like it was about cancer, it was about AIDS, it was about all other big diseases. The people in the bigger towns had more knowledge about it because it was talked about it, and there were more advertisement on the TV. They have more access to those resources. They could see those things out there, so they had more knowledge. So it's same with mental health, and because mental health is the invisible thing, so and some people are ignorant as well. They don't want to know about it as well. That's one factor as well.
Yeah. And for someone who is listening and who has never practiced mindfulness, what is one simple way to begin right now, even as they are walking or driving?
The what is the basic definition of mindfulness? Is about being present in the moment, here and now, without judgment. So you can start with one simple deep breath. Just focus on your breath for one cycle, maybe two cycles, then maybe three cycles. Nothing more. The simplest thing you can do, wherever you are, no matter what you're doing, just focus on your breath. If you can't do that, just watch what thoughts are coming to your mind. These are the two basic things you can start with. Because once you start watching your thoughts, they will
Yeah.
start disappearing. Because your thoughts are only powerful until unless you give them the power. As soon as you take the power away from them, they disappear.
Yes. Yes. And thank you for sharing this wonderful practice. I think this is very accessible, and we just need to know that our breathe, our thoughts, like very smallest thing of us, holds really big power to change our lives. And also, what is your favorite small practice for calming mental chaos?
What I always say and what I always go back to is deep breathing. If you are stressed, burnout, or anything, and you see there's no resolution for all these problems, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, proper deep breath in. Make sure that your belly is just like blowing like a balloon. Proper deep breath. If you can't close your eyes, fine. Keep your eyes open. Take a deep breath in and keep the focus on your breath. One deep breath can do wonders in times of stress, anxiety, and burnout.
Yes, yes, and thank you for sharing this wonderful and beautiful practices. And I think this is a wonderful conversation that our listeners will really appreciate. And if my listeners want to connect with you, then what's the best way?
The best way is my website is Bhupinder Sandhu, and anyway on social media is Mindful Sandhu. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, anywhere is Mindful Sandhu.
Okay, and I'll make sure to attach all the details and links below so that my listeners can find it easily and get in touch with you because you are a wonderful person and the way you shared your experience and knowledge and everything is just wonderful and amazing. So it's beautiful to have you on my show. I'm really honored and I think our listener will really be helpful. And thank you for reminding us that mental health doesn't require grand gestures and it just needs some intentional steps. And to everyone who is listening, you don't have to walk 1,000 miles to change your life. You only need to begin with one conscious breathe, one honest conversation, one step closer to yourself. This is Inner Peace Better Health, where awareness comes action. Till next time, stay grounded, stay peaceful, and listen to Inner Peace Better Health. Thank you.